Hey, it's Matt from Surf City TCG here with an update on your favorite frog and mine, GLARB, Calamity's Augur. Quick side note, I have gotten some complaints about my audio recently, and I've made a lot of efforts to upgrade that and improve it, so please let me know if you're noticing those. This is all pretty new to me, and it's been a lot more difficult than I expected, but thanks to the help of a few people and a lot of research and pain, honestly, and experimentation, I think I've got it in a good place now. But please let me know if it sounds better, if it still could sound better. Even if it's better and you think it's not perfect, I want to hear about that. So let me know in the comments below, or please join my Discord, which I will link below, and we've got a very active community going and growing there. So love to hear from you, and thanks for watching. So let's get into it. I did make a deck guide on GLARB already, but I've made tons of changes to the deck since then, and I want to talk about why I made some of those changes and what they are and what the deck looks like now. So let's just quickly recap what GLARB does. He's a 3-mana Frog Wizard Noble for 2/4 Death Touch. He says you can look at the top card of your library at any time, you can play lands off the top, and you can cast spells mana value 4 or greater off the top. You can also tap to Surveil 2. That means you look at the top 2 cards of your library, you can put them back in any order, or you can put them into your graveyard. So it's just like Scry, except replace bottom of your deck with graveyard. So GLARB is a wonderful little value engine and just kind of package all in one, because if you don't like what's on top, or if you've just got land on top and you've already played your land, and whatever the case may be, you can always tap him to Surveil 2 to kind of clean up the top. You could also do that in advance of your turn if he's already been in play, so you make sure that there's a land on top, therefore being able to play one. And every time you do play a card, a land, or a spell off the top, that is functionally the same as drawing a card, because that's a card that you played that wasn't in your hand. So huge value to do so, and to try to ensure you do that as often as possible is one of the ways that you can win the game with this deck. So, at first, so functionally the deck is very similar to when I first built it. I wanted this to be just a very strong value deck where I was playing a lot of spells off the top, I was playing a lot of lands, and then I was just winning with either a big X spell or just a bunch of big creatures kind of getting in for value. I don't have any infinites in this deck, nor do I play infinites in almost any of my decks, so I need ways, to win just outright with either damage or attacking, commander damage, something very concrete, right, and finite. So at first, and I just want to start off by saying, like, this, I have this problem kind of in a lot of cases. Like, I tend to just throw in a lot of staples, and I have access to almost every card I need, which is both a blessing and a curse, because I want my decks to feel unique and my wins to feel unique. But when you play a lot of the same staples, or a lot of tutors, or just a lot of the same, you end up, like, a lot of games end up feeling very similar, even though the commanders may be different. So I've made a concerted effort to try to move my decks away from that by cutting tutors, by cutting staples. So if you're looking at this list and asking yourself, like, well, why isn't he running this, or why is he running that? It seems like it might be better to run so-and-so. That very likely is the answer to that question. And what I've gone ahead and done, and I'll leave them in the sideboard. I won't do this on most of my decks, but if whether or not you sort by my types and tags is irrelevant. Like, you'll find in the sideboard these 24 cards, and I may be missing some here, but these are 24 cards that I feel are extremely good in this deck. Probably all 24 of these are better than 24 cards that I am playing currently. So why am I not playing them? Well, it's part of the reason is what I just explained. I'm looking to cut staples. I'm looking to kind of raise the level of difficulty for myself and be able to self-regulate. I want the game to feel less pay to win for me. And I feel that cutting these cards helps to do that. That being said, if you own any of these 24 cards and you like them and you want to play them, or you just want your deck to be a little bit stronger, sometimes like when you're new at Magic, or if you're just not, you don't feel like you're as good of a player, like you make a lot of mistakes, sometimes running some more powerful cards can help you overcome some of those issues as you learn and as you grow. So definitely, like, feel free to swap in any of these that you like in particular, or if you just want to like get back at some play group that always crushes you with a lot of powerful cards and you've got one or more of these that you want to swap in, feel free to do that. And if you need any advice or feedback on like what to replace, I'm not going to go over all of that right now, but I will tell you that the build of this deck, this commander in general, is very flexible. Like, you can play what you want and it's still going to work. I mean, GLARB is just a great value engine. He does what he does and it's going to work no matter what you're running. So you can feel comfortable to experiment a little, and it's probably going to work out well for you. That being said, if you want some advice, please join my Discord. I'm very active in that and I answer all the questions that come in to me, or drop me a comment on YouTube or on Moxfield and I will answer that way. Yeah, so that's going to be it. That's all I'm going to say about these cards. I guess actually before I move on, I'll talk a little bit about some of these and why they're in here, maybe the ones that aren't as self-explanatory. I think like these forces are extremely good in the deck. You can play them off the top even if you play them for free, so that's very powerful. And for the same reason, these top of deck tutors like Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, and Worldly Tutor, that put a card, same with Noxious Revival, which is essentially a tutor from your graveyard. These cards put a card on top of your deck. GLARB lets you play certain spells off the top, so you can see why these are very strong, because like if you Vampiric Tutor a One Ring to the top, then you can cast it right off the top immediately. It's like you drew it versus having it go on the top of your library. This Grey Merchant is probably the single best card that you can add to the deck if you don't care about like modulating the power level. Copying Gary 2 or more times is quite a clean and easy path to victory, especially in this deck. So if I had no qualms about running similar win cons and like all the stuff I've already talked about, Gary is the number one thing I would add to make this deck much more powerful. And yeah, I mean, Nyx Bloom is nutty in this deck. I was running it for quite a while. In fact, if you watch some of the old videos on this commander, you'll see me pop off with Nyx Bloom. It's just so easy. You know, a single copy of this gives you 9 times mana on tapping any permanent. So you do the math. So let's get into some of the other topics I wanted to talk about. What kind of changes did I make to the deck aside from just removing some of these staples? Well, the first thing I've done is really minimize the number of spells I'm running that are less than 4 mana. I'm going to switch over to grouping by mana value here just to illustrate what I mean. Actually, before I do that, let's just take a look at the curve. I think in past video I had like something like this, and there was a like high amount of 2s, maybe similar amount of 4s, and then it just dropped sharply and it was something like that. So as you can see, like I've reduced the number of 2s, 1s, 2s, and 3s, actually all 3 of them, even more. There's a very heavy concentration of 4 mana value spells and even more 5s, 6s, 7s, and higher. So now looking at the mana values, you can see like spells I'm running that are under 4 mana value, there are only 3, 15, 17 in the entire deck. You will rarely find a deck that is a functional deck, I should say, that is running so few 3 and under mana value cards. In fact, it's a huge mistake to have a deck list that looks like that in almost any other commander, unless you like really know what you're doing and have a very specific reason for it. And you know, astute viewers may have noticed that like among these, what did I say, 17 cards, several of them are actually not really even this mana value, right? Oh, I skipped these zeros actually, but these aren't really zeros, right? This is a 5, this is a 4. I just have the mana value changed, which you can do, by the way, by going in here. You can override just for this deck, or you can, you know, Moxfield's pretty cool. You can customize it to look however you want it to. So sometimes, like, actually, I think for Open the Way, I've done this because I don't ever want to be casting Open the Way for less than 4. So I just kind of assume this is a 6. So I could, in theory, do that for these other X spells, but like they're a lot more flexible in terms of what you're casting them for. So I like to just leave them where they are. But if we remove the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells here that have an X value, then we end up with only 11 spells that are mana value 1, 2, or 3. So how do we get away with that? Well, I mean, obviously GLARB is the reason, right? Would it be better to run more 1s, 2s, and 3s, even though GLARB can't cast them off the top? It absolutely would be better. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, the stuff in the sideboard, if you were to add all of these like 1-drops and replace, like, you know, even if you didn't think about it at all, you just replaced like a bunch of random 6-drops, the deck's just going to be much better, period. You don't even really have to think about it. Even though it's not synergistic with my commander, like it would just be better to be running these spells because they're so good. Plus they like put something on top, right? So you'd have to be able to draw them first. And, you know, this is going to segue into my next topic, which is draw engines. But I think the way I like to play this deck and in the power level I like to play it, it's not so bad for us to just kind of do nothing for the first few turns before we play our commander. That being said, if we can draw one of these few 1 and 2 drops and mulligan for them, the ones that we're playing, that's the kind of hand we're looking for. So just to illustrate this point like very vividly, I would probably keep a hand that had, you know, let's exclude the X spells from what I'm about to say. I would keep a hand that I think has any of these 1 or 2 drops, any of them, and 6 land as my opening 7. That's how powerful GLARB is and how powerful it is to have a play before you play GLARB. Because like if you play, like even if it's just a Farseek, like the worst ramp spell in our deck, if we play a Farseek on turn 2, that means that we've got 3 mana, we can play GLARB right on turn 3, but not only can we just, I mean, we could play them on turn 3 anyway, right? But like this also lets you play a land off the top if you have one, and we're running 40 land, including MDFCs. But if you have an MDFC on top, MDFC means, by the way, in case you're curious, oh, it says it right here, modal double-faced cards. So these are the lands that can be played on, or they're like spells that can be played as a land. For example, Agadeem's Awakening is one of them. And you could see them by looking for the transform signal. That's not always going to be MDFC, but most of the time. So these are the only 2 I'm running right now. But the other ones are really good in this deck too. So ones like Seagate Restoration, Turn Timbers Symbiosis, any of the ones that are like 4 mana value or higher. I mean, honestly, I think Balagad Recovery is probably good enough in this deck too, but I'm just really trying to cut as many things under 4 as possible just for thematic reasons. So anyway, back to my point. I don't think I would say this for almost any other deck, but in this deck, I'd keep a 6-lander with a single 1 or 2 drop. And I would also mulligan to 5 to look for a hand that was like something like that, because you're going to be drawing and getting tons of value later as soon as you get your commander out anyway. So the importance of your first couple of turns, especially in like higher power games or against like strong players, you really don't want to have a like ultra slow start. So mulligan real hard for these 1 and 2 drops that we are playing. All right, so what about draw engines? I'm going to switch over to my types and tags now. These are custom categorizations that I've added. So, you know, Moxfield doesn't have these naturally, but you can go ahead and like go into the tags and add them yourself. And I find this to be an extremely helpful way to evaluate what to add or what a deck needs or what to cut. So it's worth the time to do this, in my opinion. So let's look at the number of draw spells I'm running, and I want to talk about some feedback I got on a previous video because I think it's like a really illustrative point and something that is helpful to talk about. So I've got four spells I've got categorized as draw, and four I've got categorized as draw engine. What's the difference? Well, draw are usually like a one-time effect. For instance, this land sacks to draw a card, but you can't really do that again, right? Unless you have a way to recur it, but we're not going to assume that. And then Baleful Strix is like an ETB, Season of Weaving is just like one of the modes on this is draw a card. Whereas these cards can draw you regularly, like every time. I have a little bit of an inconsistency here because like Elder Gargaroth draws you a card anytime it attacks or blocks, but so does Archon of Cruelty, like every time it attacks. So I should probably have these grouped the same way. In fact, I'm just going to switch this now. I would say Gargaroth is not a draw engine, even though like it technically is, right? If you can attack multiple times, you can turn this into a draw engine, but I would prefer to assume the worst case scenario and then have it end up being better in actuality. I think generally, like, I try to adopt that sort of conservative mentality when like identifying what a card can do. I like to assume not always the worst case scenario because that's not realistic, but an average or bad case scenario. So I have 8 total cards that draw either via an engine or a single time use. Now, if you were to ask me about a random deck and I looked at it and you had only 8 draw spells in your deck, I would right away tell you like that is not sufficient. However, with this kind of unique commander and in the way we've built this deck, we don't need as much draw. And that's because like our entire library is our draw engine, right? With GLARB in play. Now we do get stuck if we have already made a land drop, if we've run out of mana, whatever the case may be. But the way I've built the deck is such that we're attempting to minimize how often that happens, and therefore the number of times we need a draw spell from hand, for example, or a draw engine that we can activate to clear the top of the deck so we can play what we want to play, those instances are reduced. Someone did comment on one of my videos, and thank you if you're watching this one, thank you for this, because I think it was a really important topic and something that I hadn't probably put enough thought into. They said, hey, you mentioned draw engines, and said like, I think what I had said last time is like draw engines are not nearly as important to this deck as they are to most decks. And I shouldn't have stated it in such an absolute way. Draw engines are extremely important to this deck for the reason I just explained. Like sometimes you just get stuck with what's on top and you need a way to clear it. And obviously GLARB can do that himself. He can surveil too anytime you need it. So that helps. But like sometimes that's just not enough. And you do need ways to clear the top. Fortunately, what we do have is tons and tons of shuffle effects in this deck. I am running 9 different fetch lands, right? Which is pretty much all of the fetches, the good fetches, that is, the onslaught that, pay 1 life, they can find a land of their type. And I think most of you know this, but for those of you who don't, a Misty Rainforest says, search your library for a forest or island card. Well, if we look at the basic lands we're running, well, I'm only running a single basic land. Well, why is that when we have all of these 10 fetch lands? The reason is a forest card is not just a basic forest, it's also a land like Bayou, the original dual land, or Tropical Island. These, don't say forest and island in the type line, right? But if we look at how they're errated, they actually are. So if these were ever reprinted, which they can't be because they're on the reserve list, but if they were, they would put this in the type line. It's just back when this card was made in 1993, that wasn't a thing yet, right? And so this is why shocklands always hold their value and are quite expensive, because they are forest islands. So when I sacrifice this, you might be asking yourself, well, why am I running a Windswept Heath when it can find forest or plains? Like, first of all, number one, doesn't that break the commander color identity rules? Well, no, it doesn't. To break color identity rule, it has to be a mana symbol in the text box, not just a mention of another like land type. So you can legally run this card. But why would I run it for strategic reasons? Well, the reason is I want every single fetch land I can get, because every single one of these, even this one, can get any color land I need, right? Because a forest could be a bayou, or it could be a tropical island, and boom, there's all of our colors. So that is why fetch lands are always hold their value and are very like expensive lands. Also, like literally no kappa, the best lands in Magic history, best lands that will ever exist, almost certainly better than the original duels, because like I said, they can get any if you're playing a 5-color deck, any one of these fetch lands can get you any color you need, and it comes in untapped. So not only are these amazing for color fixing, but in this deck, each one of these represents an individual shuffle effect. So if we see the top card of our library, but we've already tapped GLARB and we've surveilled 2, we have no other way to clear the top, we have 9 ways right here to shuffle the deck and see a new top card. And the nice thing about running a black and green deck is that we can play both, where are they? Fanghorn Forest, aka Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, which makes every land count as a forest in addition to its other types, as well as the Dead Marshes, aka Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. So with either of these lands in play, all of our fetch lands can now be tapped for mana as well. And why would we do that when we could just go fetch a land and thin our deck? Well, we like the shuffle effects from these fetch lands, right? But we don't always need them right away. There are times, though, where you really wish you had one of these. So if you've tapped it for mana in the meantime using Urborg or Yavimaya, you can save that and kind of bank that shuffle effect for when it's going to be really important to you, if that makes sense. So how are we winning with this deck? We know what we're doing, right? We know the mechanism by which we're like getting going, which is like get GLARB in play, start playing lands off the top, like play a bunch of lands, start casting stuff for value, right? So the first thing we're doing after we get GLARB out, and ideally before, but as soon as we get it out, boom, biggest category in the deck, mana and ramp. 16 ways to find land, to make a lot of mana. They're all here. Several of these, those being Crop Rotation, Blossoming Tortoise, Pier's Whim, Sowing Mycospawn, Template Discovery, Hour of Promise, Open the Way, Titania's Command, and Ulvenwald Hydra, can all get a land of any type, not just basics lands. So this is why those specific cards I just called out are so very powerful. Because what lands are we trying to get into play as soon as possible? Number one is not 3 Tree City. Number 1 is the Dead Marshes. Number 2 is Cabal Coffers. And number 3, distant third, is probably 3 Tree City, which is excellent in the deck, by the way. But before we got that, we would almost certainly get, drumroll, Field of the Dead. Your land and mine favorite. Well, maybe not yours. A lot of people hate it, but I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in the game. Make lots of zombies, and then, hey, you might ask yourself, hey, Matt, like, this isn't a tribal deck. Like, in fact, like, let's take a quick diversion and look at my subtypes. So I just switched grouping to subtype here, and we could see, like, all the different creature types I have. So how many creatures do I have? 28 creatures, right? Now, look at my subtypes. Aside from human, of which I have quite a few, they're kind of spread all over the place, right? In fact, I only have like one of most of these and a handful of others, right? So what creature type are we choosing with 3 Tree City, right? Doesn't make sense, does it? So when it enters, we choose a creature type. We could tap this for colorless, or we could pay 2, tap it, choose a color, add an amount of mana equal to the number of creatures you control of that type. Well, there's only one kind of creature where we're making a lot of them. I mean, if you answered the question by saying like, hey, we're going to play a Vaultborn Tyrant and clone it 50 times. Well, that's pretty sweet. If you do that and you name dinosaur with 3 Tree City, then more power to you, because that's pretty baller. But there is a type that we are going to be getting a lot, and that is your friend, the 2/2 black zombie creature token. So when you have a Field to the Dead in play and you're just playing land after land after land, playing a bunch of ramp, Three Tree City is like Gaia's Cradle at home. So this card really is legit. You don't need to spring for the $70 version like I have, but I do highly recommend picking up a copy for your collection for the long term. So while we're in the subtype section, I'll talk about why I have all this kind of spread of different creatures, and also this may answer some of the questions about some of the more strange choices I'm running, and or why I'm not running certain cards. And the reason is Bolo Guide to Monsters. If you haven't heard of this human wizard from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, I wouldn't blame you. He is a fun one, though. He says, whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a type with a creature that's in your graveyard or under your control, you make a copy of it. So, aside from humans, I'm running very few duplicates of creature types just to kind of enable Volo. Now, is this worth it? Definitely not. But I think it's fun, and I'm doing it for that reason. So, I mean, that's really it. What we're doing is we're ramping out a bunch, we're getting a powerful creature in play, and then I'm going to switch back to types and tags because we are running lots of different clone effects, 11 of them, in fact, and also a bunch of token doublers. In fact, all of the ones that are available in these colors. So Adrix and Nev, Parallel Lives, and Doubling Season, which is typically not worth it, especially in a deck that doesn't have any +1 counter synergy. So we're just kind of losing out on that entire effect of the card. But I'm really just looking to make a bunch of clones in crazy and over the top ways. And these doublers are some of the best ways to do that. So, you know, we're talking drop any of these. They all do the same thing. We get so the main ways we're winning are, let's just go back to our regulars. So here are the big win cons I'm running. Kokusho the Evening Star, right? You get him out. You have a token doubler. You don't really even need a token doubler, but if you have one, and then you make, let's say you play Rite of Replication with Kicker, then all of a sudden you're making 10 copies of Kokusho. But Matt, isn't Kokusho legendary? It's going to die, right? As soon as you make those copies? Why, yes, Fear, it is going to die. And then you're going to get 10 Kokusho death triggers, and each opponent is going to lose 50 life, and you'll gain 150. So that'll win games, right? Same thing with Massacre Worm. This one's not legendary, which is good, because a lot of times one Massacre Worm, just not enough, right? Like, people have got 4/4s, they got 6/6s, but guess what? 5 Massacre Worms giving -10/-10 to all opponents' creatures is usually enough to wipe the board. And then not only are they losing 2 life per creature that died, they're losing 2 life times 5 per creature who died. So if they had 4 creatures on the board, you have 10 Massacre Worms, they all die, they're taking 40. So that is a way to win games. Roundmouth Viper does it too. This is a fun one. And lastly, Tendershoot Dryad, making 2 copies of this is usually enough. Like, you know, 1 turn cycle, you're going to have 3 Saprolings that can attack on your turn. You'll have 4, but one of them will be Summoning Sick. So if you make like even 1 copy of this, like all of a sudden every Saproling's a 5/5. And, you know, exponential growth with the more copies of this that you get. So very, very potent creature to copy, and tons of other fun ones I'm running. This deck's a blast to play. Replication Technique is a card I added since the original build, and this is a card I hugely underrated. I knew it could copy lands, but I just never really thought about that. Like, if you think of this like a blue, like Hour of Promise, you know, Hour of Promise is one of the best cards in this deck. Every time I draw this, like early game, I feel like I can't lose because I just grab Field of the Dead and Cabal Coffers, and it's just like, poof, it's like so easy from there. Replication Technique, this can copy any 2 permanents you control. Yes, you have to give an opponent a copy of this spell via Demonstrate, but like, I've never had a game where all three of my opponents had something so threatening that I was worried about them making a copy of it. In fact, like a lot of times they're just like, oh, copy a land, copy some random jank that they have, and it doesn't matter. And then you get 2 copies of your best thing at worst, or if you have a parallel lives, you get 4 copies. You know, there was a game I played recently at my LGS where I made 8 copies of Cabal Coffers with 1 spell. There was a game I played online. You could check it out, and it's like one of my most recent GLARB videos where I made 2 copies of Storm of Saruman. You know, I played a replication technique. I used one of them to copy Storm of Saruman, which for some reason is not legendary. Seems crazy, but sorry for the word version. Well, I think it's really cool, but it's hard to read. So whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy's not legendary. So I had 2 of these in play for a lot of the game, which, yeah, that game felt unlosable. Replication technique, just such a fun card, so good too. Yeah, ever since I built this deck, I try to like mix up what I play and play other decks, but I always find myself wanting to play this deck and like being sad when I'm playing another deck. So highly recommend you to try out GLARB. He is just so fun to play. Any way you build him, he's going to be good. So don't worry if you don't have all the fetch lands, if you don't have all this stuff. Like, you can play it with a bunch of basics and it's still fun. It's still going to be good. It's just a great value deck, and it really, like, it's hard, it's hard to have a bad game with it, because like as long as you got him out, then you're going to be hitting lands, you're going to be like casting spells. It's just like works. The surveil really gets you there, and it's just so fun. I don't know what else to say. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this update to the guide on GLARB. I probably will continue to make changes to this deck, but like understand that it can be built in a lot of different ways at a lot of different power levels, and it's going to be good no matter what. So let's do some Mulligan practice. Before I get into that, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe my video, not just this one, but any that you watch. I'm a new content creator, so it means a lot to me to get that feedback. And if there's something that is bothering you about my videos, like, I mentioned about the audio quality at the beginning, if you're noticing that and just not saying anything, like, please let me know, because for everyone that's thinking it, like, there's only one person that says it out of like 10, 20, 50, 100 people that are thinking it. So please say it. I don't take offense. I am open to feedback and criticism. So like I'm just trying to improve and make this better for you, the viewer. So if there's anything that you want to see or that isn't really working for you, please let me know. All right, that being said, let's get into some playtest. And I'm gonna post a gameplay video right after this too, so stick around for that. All right, so I would encourage you to pause before I tell you if I would keep this hand, and you decide, like, in a random pod, you don't know who your opponents are, but you know this is your opening 7. Do you keep this hand? So as much as I love to keep this hand, the only time I ever draw Leyline is in like hands that like feel like they have to be mulliganed. Like this hand, for example, like we've got a Cabal Coffers, which is great theoretically, but we only have one other land. It can't even make any color, so we have to toss this one back. So this will be our second 7. Pause the video. Tell me, do you keep this as your second 7? I don't know. Like, you could. I mean, it's fine. As I mentioned in the walkthrough, you really want something to play on turns 1 and 2. Springheart and 2 code does not count. You really don't want to be dropping this on turn 2. This is a piece to combo off with the powerful creature later game. Sowing Myco Spawn is really nice to have, though. And Sage of the Beyond, I mean, we could play this on turn 2. That's not nothing. At least we have something to do, right? We can foretell this card, play it later. I think this is a keep just for that reason. But honestly, like, if you said mulligan to try to find a ramp piece, I wouldn't fault you for that. That might be the right decision here. We do have a surveil land, which is nice, meaning like we could drop this turn 1, hope to find, you know, we could graveyard one thing, hope to find a ramp. So let's see how it plays out. Draw. Oh, picking up Urborg is really nice because now we're showing Mycospawn gets Cabal Coffers and we've got the pieces online right away. So this doesn't stop what we're going to do this turn though. So play the surveil land. We'll look at the top. Hey, look at that. It is a ramp piece. All of a sudden this hand goes from sketchy to bonkers. Does that mean we made the right decision? No. We may have made the right decision, but finding this doesn't mean we did. If that makes sense. Don't be results oriented with the outcomes. We will leave that on top though and be happy. Next turn. All right, what do we play here? I think we play Urborg just because we know we need it. It's the color we don't have. And yeah, we're going to want it later. So let's just get that in play. We'll cast our We Want a Shrubbery. And what are we getting? Well, we've got all the black and green we need. So really we just know we need, this has to get a forest. So we've already got the Hedge Maze in play, which is a bummer because that's the land I would get 100% here. I think even though, well, I guess we'll get the other blue land, right? Which is the sewers. We don't need the black, but we just want the surveil land. So this, oh, we can't get the sewers. What am I doing? Okay, so the question is, do we get a blue because we know we need that? Or do we get a surveil land? I think we need the blue. You know, it is possible somehow that we don't find more blue that quickly, and then we would be really annoyed with all of this blue stuff. So I think we, I don't know, this is close. I'm gonna be greedy. Let's get the mortuary. I want that surveil. So we'll close and shuffle. The center's tapped. We'll look at the top. Do we bin the Sky Shroud claim? I think we do. We have lots of ramp. We're going to have Cabal Coffers or Urborg online next turn. Not a card I would normally suggest putting in the graveyard, especially heading into turn 4, but here we are. All right, let's go to our next turn. That's a really nice pickup, something to dump our tons of mana into. So what do we do here? What land do we play? Trick question. Don't play a land here. If you got that correct, good for you. First, we want to play GLARB, right? Because now we can look at the top card. Not a land, so we wouldn't have been punished, but we should still plan for that. So let's play the tapped Overgrown Tomb because we don't need the mana, and let's go to our next turn. So what I'm going to do is put a stop so we don't draw, disable draw. I'll do for one turn. Okay, so we'll go to our next turn. We're not going to draw because we're probably not going to surveil here, but we could, right? And if we had flash speed, like if we had a ley line out, we could flash this out right now. I'm not saying that's necessarily the right play, but take your time with this deck because there are going to be a lot of times you want to stop on your upkeep and just think for a second. Don't let other players rush you into making a bad decision or skipping over a decision that was worth thinking about a little bit, if that makes sense. I think here we'll just draw it though. Nice, we got a land on top. So before we just slam that, which again, it's probably what I'm going to do, but I just want to think because this deck has a lot of like, there are a lot of like very delicate positions where you will only have like a certain timing spot to do something. So it's always worth just slowing yourself down a little bit, like not going on autopilot because it's really easy to skip over one tiny little thing that could make a huge difference. So I think we're going to play the land off the top, but I just want to think about what I'm doing this turn first. So we've got a Leer. I don't think Leer is what we're playing right now. I think we probably just want to develop the Parallel Lives, but there's also an argument to be made for foretelling the Sage. We wouldn't really have anything else to play then though, because like you know, if this were an ancient tomb or something, well, there's also like the Myco spawn, right, which gets us the coffers. We don't really need that just yet, but it still might be worth just getting that out quick. I think we do play the Delta. We've got a bounce line on top, so I don't mind shuffling that away if we use the Sowing Myco spawn, so I think we will do that. We'll just tap for... We're going to play the Myco spawn. We can't play the kicker, but that's okay. We don't need the kicker, so we'll get the Cabal coffers. That's going to come right into play. I think it comes in untapped, right? Sorry, that goes in play, not the graveyard or exile. Come straight on the battlefield. Yep. Unfortunately, we can't activate it right now, but that's fine. I think we're doing okay. And then we can actually just foretell the Sage right now, though. We could even tap this Delta for mana, because I don't mind keeping the Alchemist Refuge on top. Because we've got the Urborg, right? And we can tap this for black with the Urborg. So we got our 2 colorless. We'll play this face down as a foretold card, and we will move on to the next turn. But before we do, GLARB's been out now, so end step, we will surveil 2. I ran into this problem last time. We shouldn't be able to see this card, so we're going to assume we can't see it. But we will put these back like so, with Shadow first. No, wait. We want to put the Refuge first and then the Shadow, because then we'll go to our turn, we'll draw the Shadow, and then we can play the Refuge off the top. And then we could play Volo. And then we could play... Well, we can't play Lear. We don't want to copy Lear, but... you can see... Well, I mean, Lear wouldn't copy any humans anyway, right? Because it is a human. So, by default, if Volo's in play, you can't ever copy humans or wizards unless you change his creature type somehow. But this game is in the bag. Let's do another one. All right, pause it. You keep this hand. No, this isn't good enough. You know, we've got the mana for GLARB on turn 3, but this is our first 7. We can find better. Pause it. You keep this hand. Huh. I'd love to keep this hand, you know. I love that ley line, but so we've got green and blue. We're just missing black. We can get Urborg with the cave. That's pretty slow to do early game. We have nothing else we can do. I think I'm going to 6 versus keeping this. Pretty solid on that decision. 6 is going to be better than this hand on average. Right? Here's our 6. Do you keep this hand or do you go to 5? This is a keep. We've got the Fel the Profane, which can be played as a black land, so we've got mana to play GLARB on 3, and therefore we can just bottom... I don't know what we bottom here, probably the Archon, but, you know, bottoming, like, Savvy Trader is an option, although I really like having Savvy Trader early, because it's a cost reducer. We could bottom Field of the Dead, and just, like, fetch it out later. It's not the worst, actually. You know, having it in hand's not great because you have to play it tapped, whereas if you fetch it using a thing that brings stuff in tapped anyway, like Hour of Promise, that's a lot less bad than like playing a tapped land. Yeah, I think I've convinced myself we'll bottom the field. We have tons and tons of ways to find it later, so we're not worried about that. Play this one out. All right, Ancient Tomb's nice, although like this is not the best deck for it. It just comes in handy when you get something like a Skyshot Claim in your opening hand. Same thing with Soul Ring. But if you wanted to cut Ancient Tomb and even Soul Ring from this deck, it's totally viable. So let's start with the Scry land, or sorry, Surveil land. Pierce Whim. Pierce Whim's great. We really like that. All those suckers who play a turn 1 Soul Ring are going to get wrecked next turn. Wait, not next turn. The following turn. Guess we've got the Ancient Tomb, right? So we'll leave that on top. Go to our next one. All right, we're just going to play the tap breeding pool here, I think. Yeah, nothing else to do. Just double checking. Yep. Next turn. All right, Nature's Lore is okay. But I think we just slam the Ancient Tomb and drop the Pier's Wing here. All of our opponents are foes, unless you're feeling particularly generous. You can make one of them a friend if you want, if there's any reason to do so, but otherwise they're all foes. Whether or not they have artifacts or enchantments is not really relevant. You just don't want to give them a land if you don't have to. So what land are we getting? I think we're definitely getting Urborg, because not only does it get us halfway to Urborg coffers, it also makes Balin's Tomb into a swamp, so we don't have to take damage off it if we don't need to. So let's get the Urborg. That comes into play tapped, I believe. And it comes in tapped, yep. And then opponents all sacrifice an artifact or enchantment. We'll go to our next turn. All right, so what are we doing here? Well, we could just tap Balin's Tomb for a swamp and cast Nature's Lore, and then play GLARB. See if we get a land on top, and then play the Fel de Profane tapped if we need to. That is one option. Savvy Trader doesn't do anything at the moment because we don't have any permanents in the graveyard, so we'll probably not be doing that. We could also, yeah, I think we'll leave this up because we could always tap it for black, and this must make black, but this could make 2 colorless if we need it. So we go, I think we go black, green, and play Nature's Lore. We're going to grab a tropical because we already have our work. So let's get tropical. Yeah, and then we're going to tap this for black, green, blue, play GLARB. We'll look at the top, say Roundmouth Viper. So no land on top, therefore we're going to play this land tapped and then go to our next turn. All right, let's look at the top. It's Thrix. After we've seen a land there, I think what we will do is just play Thrix and then see if we hit a land. If we don't, we can tap GLARB to Surveil. So let's tap this for 2 colorless, take 2 damage. Black, blue, blue. Play Thrix off the top. Now what's on top? Season of Weeding. Bummer. I don't really want to put that in the graveyard, but we don't want to miss a land drop here, so let's Surveil too. Alright. We just have to put both these in the graveyard. I don't think there's another option. Boom, we got our land. Nice. Okay, so our spells with mana value 5 or more cost 1 less, but that still doesn't get us there. We only have 3 mana, so let's look at the top. Baleful Strix, unfortunately, we can't cast. I've been on the fence of cutting it a bunch of times, but it's really, really good to help stabilize the early game, so only reason I haven't yet. Doesn't mean I won't, though. Let's go to our next turn. Draw the Strix. Strix is nice to have in hand, too, because like we can use it to clear something later. All right, we'll play the Foothills off the top. We've got another land on top. Sad. But now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. We could even just play Archon Trilogy here. We could develop the Vaultborn Tyrant. It costs 1 less, don't forget, from Thrix. And yeah, this hand just, like, we're just slamming threat after threat after threat, and we've got a board wipe if we need it. This hand's just really powerful at this point. Let's do one more. All right, pause it. Tell me, would you keep this one? This is a tough one. So Exsanguinate's like kind of dead right now, although not necessarily, like, especially with an Ancient Tomb in the hand, it is nice to have this option. You don't have to just play this to win the game. You can just play an Exsanguinate for 5 to gain 15 life. Like, There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's a really good option that I think people don't think about often enough. We've got a like turn 3 Piers Whim again, which is really good, as we saw last game. Fairy Artisans is nice. We have only one colored mana source, but the Piers Whim will get us another. I don't know. Let's mulligan. Alright, do you keep this one? This is a keep. This has a turn 3 Blossoming Tortoise, and I don't say no to that kind of value. Alright, we draw Field of the Dead, kind of a bummer. We drew patches, so to speak. Comment if you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so do we play it untapped for crop rotation potential? No. We don't want to crop rotation away our only green source, so no. This will enter tapped for the next turn. Alright, I think we just play the Field of the Dead here because we have nothing else to do. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's be careful. I almost screwed that up. I think we need to play either Balin's Team or Horizon here to ensure that we can play the turtle next turn. So let's play the Horizon. Go to the next turn. Now we go Balin's Tomb, Tortoise. Tortoise ETB, we mill 3. Please let us hit a land. We did. We hit 2 land. So which one do we bring back? Comes in tapped. I think we just want the trop here. We need colors more than we need this value. We could get this back later. We've got Lumra and plenty of other ways to get it back from the graveyard, including like Savvy Trader. So this enters tapped. We're good. Go to our next turn. We should remember that this reduces the cost of the 3 tap ability on Horizon of Progress. Also reduces Cabal Coffer's activation, 3 Tree City. That might have been a reason to consider the 3 Tree City actually, but it's okay. Next turn. Does this reduce the cost? Oh, it's not a land I control, so it won't reduce this 4. That's too bad. So I think before we do anything, well, so interesting spot, we could play GLARB first before we attack, because then we'll see what our top card is and we can decide. Yeah, that's got to be better, because then if it's a land, we can play it first. So we'll tap 3, we'll play GLARB. Look at the top, it is a land, so it's a Bojuka Bog. Interesting spot, because I would prefer that in the library, especially with crop rotation in hand, because we could use it at instant speed then. But we don't want to just miss the value of having a free land off the top with GLARB. So I think we just play it now. We could bounce this later using a bounce land, so if we needed to get it back, we can do that. So we Bojuka Bog someone, and then we look at the top again. It's another land, so that's fine. We attack, we mill 3. Marsh Flats, Windswept Teeth, Helm of the Host. And then we return one of these lands. It can either be one of these fetches. I think in this case we'll take the 3 Tree City. Comes in tapped, and yeah, let's just do one more, and then I'll get on to the game. Pause it. Tell me, do you keep this one? It is tempting, I have to say. I like all these lands, I like all these cards, but looks a little slow for an opening 7, so let's just take another one. Pause it. Do you keep? Nope, we're going to 6. Alright, pause it. Do you keep this one? This is definitely a keep on 6. We won't even get punished from playing a bounce land on turn 2 because we'll be down a card, so value question mark. All right, so what do we bottom here? We quite easily bottom Lear. More of a late game card. We don't need it now. All right, let's draw for turn. Hey, coffers is great. So what do we start with here? We start with the Heath, and As much as I would love to get a surveil land, we need a black land that comes in untapped, right? So make sure you think a couple turns ahead here, because if we were to fetch a surveil land here, play the Simic Growth Chamber, bounce it to hand, great, we get that value, right? Except that we're not going to be able to play GLARB the following turn because the surveil land comes in tap, so just be careful about that. I think for that reason, we're going to grab the... We need a black land. The other color should be probably blue, since we have an activated ability for blue. So let's get the Trop. I said this in a previous video, but if you just default to getting Tropical Island, you'd probably be okay. It's the land I get most frequently. All right, we're getting the Trop. We're not using it. Opponents are thinking, what a noob. Why didn't he get Breeding Pool? But we know. All right, next turn draw. Wait, we needed a black land. Sorry, I'm going to back up because I'm dumb. We wanted C. Sorry, opponents. All right, we drew. Play this, we'll bounce the C. Don't even have to discard. We're so good. Next turn. Boom. Boom. Next turn. Top cards a land. Easy. All right, what do we do here? Option 1 is play Vesuva, aka Miku, and then drop 2 lands. But that puts a lot of eyes on us. And then we don't even have any lands to play after that. Actually, what's on top? Oh, we've got a land on top? Okay, easy. Play Miku. We'll leave this up to shuffle if we need to. Question mark? I guess so. Alright, here's our second land for turn. We'll surveil 1. Ooh. We gotta keep that on top. It's too good. That's sad. You know, there's an argument for just surveilling 2 here, like trying to find a land underneath the Sylvan, but Sylvan's too good. Because it lets you set up, like, making land drops with GLARB so well. I think we just don't worry about being ultra greedy and just play our third land from hand. We're already at 5 lands in play on turn. Well, we have 5 lands, but one's a bounce land, so almost like 6 land in play. So yeah, this hand's gonna get there, as you can see. We just next turn we just Hour of Promise for Urborg plus Field of the Dead, make 2 zombies, and then like go to town, play Adrix and Nev. Now every land makes 2 zombies. Aggressive Biomancy, like once we find something to copy, which we will with GLARB quite easily. This hand, you know, Deadly Rog plus Leer is ultra powerful. It's like play Leer, cast Deadly Rog twice for free. Real good. Real good. All right. Well, that is going to be it for this segment. I hope you enjoy the game. Thanks for watching.
The hell is that card?
Horsemanship. Other knights have horsemanship.
And everything is.
Yeah, she is a knight. So.
I guess.
Pretty good girl.
Kind of want to respond to that.
Oh, you only want to respond to my stuff. I see how it is.
What do you want me to do up there? It's GLARB, dude. He's cute.
Blow up some lambs. That's your best bet.
GLARB's cute. I mean,
all right, what you got? Come on.
How big's Bill?
Oh, he's just a 3/3.
All right, you're fine. Bill. I'm scared of Bill. I ain't scared of Omo. I don't. Bill's dead, dude. I've seen Bill do some shit, dude. Go ahead,
especially
buddy.
an Omo deck that can make so much mana.
Yeah.
We're out here. We try and play a 3 visits.
Speak of the Bill Devil.
I was about to say, what's Bill do?
1/1.
No, that's your second spell, correct? I'm gonna lose
Landfall, yes. Put a +1 counter on a creature, and he could pay 5 to double all of his +1 counters as many times as he wants.
So gained
put 1 on the Herald.
Like all the 1/1 counters he already has on. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, so once it starts going, it gets good.
Yeah, if you have 10 mana, it's like double.
Yeah.
Oh, now whose screen died? Look at that.
Someone died.
You just went back to 1990.
Yours went to super pixelated.
Your screen keeps pixelating.
You're on Best Buy.
My bad. Is this untapped? Is it good now?
No.
Really, on my screen is not fucked.
No, it's not good.
That makes me worry about mine. Yeah.
I do. Well, no, I don't want to tell you to F5 because you have problems joining in, but I just always do a quick F5 and.
God damn it! I guess we'll try. Be right back.
Oh no, you're gonna be stacking you, but no. He'll be fine. We'll blow up that fucking bill, dude.
Drink to that, brother.
Yeah, I'll take a drink. Don't often. There's a lot of treasure, dude. Kind of wish I didn't take Torment out now.
Not loading my video at all. What the fuck?
Seems like your connection is really slow if that's happening. Maybe close some like other tabs if you can.
I got one other tab open.
Kill that prawn, dude.
No way, dude. Pastime.
I would even close like Steam and shit. I mean,
I'm just gonna close the whole browser.
Oh, well, that shit private. Just make it private and make him click on the link. I don't know. No, you just didn't have to do that much. You could have killed his turn. I wouldn't have cared. Already knew everything that was on board.
Back to taking a while.
No, because he said he was. Hey, dude, I just want to blow up the bill. All right.
Why are you trying to kill Bill?
Oh, you weren't supposed to hear
that. He said you weren't supposed to be in, motherfucker.
Ah, Jesus.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
That looks very good. All right, play your perfect hand now.
Oh, yeah, the same 3 cards I had this whole time. I've got Tropical Island. With that, can't do anything with it. Go to combat. Do you have response to combat?
Hell no, dude.
You keep talking about killing Bill. I'm just saying.
I have no responses. I just like to get on the
Omo at you.
Okay.
And I'll just hold up the other 2 as blockers.
How big that Omo, dude?
She's just a 2/6. She'll trigger everything counters. Bill is now in everything.
Good.
And playing Basilisk Gate is everything. And then I will pass.
Hey.
This is the most annoying part of playing this deck.
Draw.
Dice everywhere.
Yeah. Need a better representation for everything counters, but that's all I got right now.
They make the same thing of Infinite Token, like little circles.
Yeah.
You could just put an E.
Probably should.
It's a lot to manage.
So I can tap Sunscorched Divide, so I have 2. Tap Conceal. Something I can do the thing. Yeah, it's pretty much. It's actually
roll a die.
I'm gonna tap to 1, add 1 of any color, and equip Haste and Hexproof to Mr. House. Any interaction.
No, I don't have a response.
Cool. Roll that die.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna roll my mania, but I was like, wait, hold.
Oh, why aren't you done?
Hey.
Why are you making a thing?
Doing the thing.
What? Wait, what did you roll a die off of? All the vexing?
Yeah, because it's add 1 mana of any color, roll a d20. And speaking of, I now have to add 11 to that vexing puzzle box.
11.
Yeah, because
I have no idea what this card does. Look, I'm just gonna look it up. You don't have to hold it up to the fucking thing.
I got you.
I know it's gonna be like weird as fuck.
It can tutor an artifact once it has 100 counters.
Oh, 100 charge. Roll. That's fair. All right,
you got a minute.
You're good, Dan. I typed it in.
Cool.
Is that all? Yeah.
Let me get my numbers up, but I'm pretty here. Fuck that. I'll put that up later. So I got 1 treasure. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna swing out with Mr. House. No.
Okay.
Pass. Wait, why is it my turn again? Wow.
Draw card.
Okay, didn't it pass? 11. Cool.
All right, cool, dude. Thank you. Play a land. Expression power. I'm gonna do Swamp Plains for Athreos. Cast as a creature spell, so I will get the triggers. I will get a 1/1 and drain everybody again for 1.
You said everybody takes one?
Yeah, I'll go up to
Copy that.
38. I'm gonna go
I'll
up
fucking drink
to
to that, though.
not 39 because he doesn't enter as a creature. He will be an enchantment. Chilling with these bitches. Oh, he wanted them pulled down. I don't want to hold. I have a lot of mana, but it's all like not much going on. 2/1, man. What the hell is that fucking? You got a 5. I can't do anything. We're gonna chill. I'm gonna pass. 1, 2,
You
3.
don't want
Yeah,
to
he's not.
attack that frog.
Fuck no, dude. GLARB. I told you, GLARB's cute.
Yeah.
Especially that art.
He's fucking chilling, dude.
Untap upkeep, draw 3 from Sylvan.
He looks like he's doing the same thing I'm doing. You know, he's hitting a little.
I think that's supposed to be water, but yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was about to say GLARB does totally look fucking cooked. I'm just saying, look at his eyes.
Yeah, he does.
All right, big play time. What you got?
Yeah,
All right, 1, 2.
pretty late game for green blue. Bocho.
Genesis wave.
I mean, I have a lot of mana. I just need card draw.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, that's not gonna be enough.
What we got? A Psych Rift.
No. Six. I'll cast a Titania's Command off the top.
Pretty good.
So, anyone have cards in graveyard? Not really, right?
I got 3 visits.
Negatory.
All right, I'll just choose to search for 2 lands, put them on battlefield tapped, and make 2 2/2 green bears.
Assuming it's Urborg and Yavimaya.
You're half right.
Well, it's definitely Urborg.
Nixos?
Could be Jungle Basin, Coratel. One of those.
What,
Gaius.
goes for green?
As I was like, Gaius.
Gaius
Red.
for 4 mana.
Urborg, Field of the Dead.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it makes sense.
Urborg,
I
yeah.
don't know why I didn't think of that first.
There's an enter tapped. Yep. I'll make 2 zombies, 2 bears. Look at the top. Still no land on top? Come on.
Not even 4 or greater?
Well, I just don't have mana.
You're
yeah,
in green. You always have mana.
I'll tap GLARB to surveil 2.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 from all the tokens.
I'll put them both in the graveyard. Wow. That's a bummer. Alright. Well, I guess I'll just...
No Fortel?
3, 4, 5,
I think it's a counter.
9. I'll make 9 black off the coffers.
Whoa!
Oh, my
I'll
goodness.
cast Helma the Host.
Pretty good.
And then I'll pay 5 to equip to GLARB.
I would like to try to respond to that.
Sure.
I'm gonna tap a treasure. Attempt to pass.
But you're gonna
GLARB?
gain life when I make a token copy of it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to make a token copy.
And you're
of it.
gonna gain life right now. Actually, wait. Let's search for land. I think it's Path to Exile.
Yeah, search for a land. Has to be
Try.
basic though, right?
I love that card, but because of my love for that, I'm scared of that card.
I have no more basics, so I will fail to find, but I will shuffle. And I'll pass turn.
Do you have infinites in there?
Nope.
What does that even
It's
do?
just it's just a silly token deck.
Okay, untap, draw. Every time I get heads, it'll be damage. And I take 3.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Not the best. Well. I too would like a land. But I do not have one.
Yeah, dude. Temple Discovery.
I keep forgetting about this. Tap for 2 and green, blue. Not that it matters. Play Oracle of Madiah.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That goes through. I'll look at the top part.
Yeah.
Look or play with reveal.
Hey, it's a land. I'll play that land.
What's that next card? Show us.
Hold on.
Come on.
Oh yeah, I guess I have to.
There is no holding on, motherfucker.
Landfall trigger. Did this all fucked up again.
You get
Landfall
Bill.
trigger. We'll do Bill second time, I guess. Well, shit. Tap 2 and blue. Play Ristic. You get your
Ristic.
trigger token.
I'm doing something heuristic. Sorry. Man, I wanted to do this in combat, preferably.
Go, Pat, go.
I'm what do you got? 4. I think it's only one target, right? Muldies. Yeah, I don't get to use this card often. I'm gonna despark the horsemanship.
Horsemanship. What is that? Just kills it?
Exile.
I don't do anything.
I believe I lose life. Let me look up despark because I'm a shill. It's in Japanese.
That's
No, it's just exile a permanent mana value 4 or greater.
I know the 4 or greater. I couldn't remember if I lose 3 life or not.
That's when you pay
nothing
extra
else.
mana to not be punished.
Then after that, you are good.
Rude.
I wanted to wait till combat when you swung at someone so I could kill it and they could block, but unfortunately, I just wanted to get it out before there was a Ristic Study trigger.
I mean, I guess it's an attack trigger, right? So it doesn't have to land.
No. You
Dan, what you got? You just got your commander and a 3/3, and then you got Soul Warden.
Yeah, I got an 04 and a 3/3.
I'm keeping them next to the artifact. I got 2 1/1s.
Is your commander online?
My commander is not online.
Take a ramp. Swing at you then.
Gotcha.
2/6. Attack trigger. Everything. And everything on Seagate.
So I can't kill that bitch. She has a huge ass.
And then I pass.
Untap.
I gotta make everything just be a fucking 1/5 or a goddamn. What's GLARB? Fucking 2/4. That's
like Clifftop Retreat, but it comes in tab.
Fat bottom girl.
Mr. House is like a 0/4. Yeah.
Don't hate.
Fuck you. I'm just kidding.
You got it.
We chilling, dude.
We kicking it. All right. Tap the swamp. Second tap. Sunscorched Rag. Get 2.
Basically,
and 3. Know what I mean?
Tell you, dude.
Get that component pouch going.
Cast that. All right, cool. Go ahead. Go off, Ken.
Yeah. Oh. Tap.
You paying?
What? The
taxes.
Fucking before or after? So before
It's
pretty
on
much.
spell.
When you cast
on
it.
cast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ristic Study.
I mean, you can tap the thing that you're rolling a die with, can't you? Because you add 1 mana.
Well, it would be after the component pouch. I mean, if I
Gotcha.
tapped it beforehand, probably, but dumb. So
If you want to go back and tap it beforehand, go for it.
You sure? Because I would pay with the treasure, but
Sure.
if
you're gonna pay with the treasure, then just do
punish him.
It's getting paid either way.
Right. Okay,
so, that's what I'm saying.
Have to ask.
Take a drink, dude.
But Hang on. Let me roll up a d20 so I can get my treasure token back and maybe another robot. Hey, look at
You
that.
got
Oh, wait.
11.
Hang on.
What do you do
Space
at
it out,
11?
because that's, yeah. So 22, 20,
Can you cast another spell?
2.
Make
you
one
mind
You
treasure
should
token.
cast another
Made a
spell.
creature. I'll get one.
Shouldn't I?
Should cast another spell.
And I got.
Not that I can
Oh,
do
yeah,
it.
my treasure token. All right. I will tap component pouch so I can roll another d20.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Come on. What we got?
Oh, you're using the
Hey,
thing.
that's what I'm talking about.
Got a
What
10.
was that one?
Another
robot.
creature?
And
That's another creature
yeah.
dropped in.
I got a
another
10 and
treasure
11
token.
last time.
All right, so I got 1, 2, and then 3 from the vexing puzzle box. We'll spend all that.
I'm gonna lose
Oh,
life.
you spending all that to cast that? So
Yeah,
I'll draw
using the vexing puzzle box mana.
I'll
and then
draw
build a
this
bobblehead.
Circuitorious Root
Uh,
and reveal Haven Courier.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I could have paid Isengard.
Oh, you want him? That was already on the field? It's up to you.
It's too late. Too late, man.
I mean, you saw what both cards were, so I can put it back. It doesn't matter.
That is very true. Because it is revealed at all times.
Yeah, so
Not
I
like I
mean,
can lie.
If you have nothing else to do, it's up to you. That's one less card he sees at the time.
yeah. So,
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
boom.
You cheeky bastard.
I'll take the 2.
He's
I'll
like,
play with the top 2 revealed.
He's like, because I'm a G like that. You done now?
What's your highest blocker?
Hit me. Bring it on, dude. What you got?
3/3.
Taking it.
Dope. Hey, my robot dick's swinging.
Everybody's gonna pay.
It's
life
not a
on.
Securitron
You
Mark
done?
II.
You done?
But yeah, I passed. But it's a Securitron Mark 1, so it ain't too bad.
I don't
Once
know
they
what
get
that
tempered steel, they're gonna be 5/5.
means. Ooh.
Then they'll be Mark 2s.
Everything's a big bird.
That's a thing, dude. We are, so it's 1 cheaper. Tapping 4 for Sir Conrad. Everybody likes Sir Conrad.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
I'm gonna make a token. I would drain.
I'm gonna
Drain the table. I will pay the 1. So gain 1, gain 2 total. Everybody loses 1. Made the token. Yada yada yada. Kid, normally have. Go to combat. Move through combat because all my things have 1 toughness.
Hell yeah.
Second main, fuck it. We'll just roll the die.
You don't even need to play that Bloomburrow.
You know what?
Raven.
I'm not gonna do it because I know your cards. I'm passing. I don't want to fucking get you closer to your next card.
I'm not the threat here. It's the
I know, but
two
it's
people
just
on the
dumb
top
when
that are
I'm
the
just gonna
threat.
draw you a card that we already knows that I'm just. It's not because you're a threat. It's just a bad timing. I can do it anytime.
Tap up, keep, draw 3.
8 life. 8 life.
Interesting. All right. I'll put him back like this. Just draw 1.
Oh, why did I think that cost?
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play GLARB. I'll pay the 1. Yeah. I'll pay
Guess
the
what,
1.
boys?
25 mana. I'd hope so.
It's Helm of the Host time.
Probably. You're gonna
I'll pay
surveil half
the.
the deck.
I'll play the Urza's Cave off the top.
Hey, I like that card.
Make a zombie.
What the hell do you search for at this point?
I probably won't.
I was about to say.
Only 2 zombies can attack, correct?
2 zombies,
Correct.
2 bears.
All right. 2 activate coffers
That's a
for
fucking
1, 2,
ramp.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black floating.
Oh,
It's fine. Problem is I'm constricted on other colors.
Should have got that Yavimaya.
Well, even if I had it, it's like just the
you
number
need
of
blue.
lands I have, you know?
Oh yeah.
Double
Need more
green.
diversity.
Are you like
Double
playing
green
Fallout or something?
and 5.
That's not me.
Oh.
I'll cast a Vaultborn Tyrant.
Herrera?
Pretty good.
I'll pay the 1.
What'd you say, Woot?
Nothing.
You said you're playing Fallout and we can hear it.
Probably.
Alright, and then I'll pay 1 more, and the 4 I've got to equip the helm
You
to...
paying the 1 on that, right?
I did, yeah. I'll
Okay.
equip the helm to Vaultborn Tyrant.
Oh. Oh yeah, dude.
Move to combat.
He has haste.
I'll make a
The
guy with
copy
haste.
definitely
A
does.
copy with haste, yeah.
And then you'll
Hey.
draw 2 cards.
Would anyone else like to interact with the board and help me out here? Because I've
I'm
been
in
the only one
blue-green. Do you
interacting.
think I can destroy something?
Yeah, beast within, baby.
So when that ETBs, I
Y'all keep
will
paying.
gain 3 and draw a card.
Now imagine if you had Smothering Tithe.
And I guess
You'd
I'll
be making
send...
outlays.
How big is your board, Evan?
4/4 and a 2/2, and that's it.
Alright, I'll send the copy at you. It's a 6/6 trample. And
Sure, I'll take
I'll
that.
send 2 bears at you too.
I will block the bears. Well, I'll block one of the bears, killing it and take 2.
Okay.
Unless you're gonna pump.
Nope, that's it.
Foretell
Cool.
time?
Nope, that's it. I'm out of mana. I'll pass.
Alright. Do dice or heads take damage? Oh damn.
Hey.
Draw the ramp. 2/2 on the crypt and a green right here. Play Nissa, Resurgent Animist. Then we will tap 4 here and Seagate to play the ramp spell. Search your deck for 2 basics or gates. Put them on the battlefield tapped. So this will go away. Assuming there's no interaction.
Chilling.
Counter. Actually, straight up.
Are you? That'd be impressive.
That would be.
That 1 drop mana counter.
It's the only counter, red, black, and white's got the fucking what at best.
Red Elemental Blast versus
Do
blue.
not know what to get actually. Would be nice to get Urza's.
Dan, you got one of the best counter spells in the game. You got fucking Mana Tithe. Dude, nobody expects Mana Tithe.
Get Baldur's Gate as 1.
I was about to say, I just don't blue green, man.
That's
Where the
fair.
hell's Gaunt? Do I not have that? I'm gonna be so sad.
How many gates do you have now?
Not enough. I also don't have Maze's End out.
Oh fuck! I forgot this is the Mazes in deck. Dude, we better not lose.
So
Mazes.
Gond and Baldur's Gate.
I
Yes,
need to
dice
borrow that.
rolling. Hey,
So how's that work? They still enter tapped, even though Gone Gate says gates you control enter the battlefield untapped. Because they ETB at the same time.
What happened? What's going on?
I think they'll both enter untapped.
See, this puts them into the battlefield tapped, right? And then Gone Gate says gates you control enter the battlefield untapped. I don't know if it's like the overriding rule. How
What's the
most
card called?
mechanics work.
Circuitous Route? I'll look it
Yeah.
up.
It's not really going to affect a whole lot of what I'm doing. either way, but I will have 4 triggers off that.
I mean, the rule of thumb is like can't usually beats can, correct?
Well, a lot of the stuff's like overlay, right? Whatever
Yeah.
happens first. So I just didn't know, like, since this is a secondary effect. I guess it
Hang
doesn't
on,
matter either way.
I have an answer. Just one sec. I gotta read.
I wish I knew how to read.
Fierce guardianship. Boom.
Wait, what about it?
They'll enter tapped.
Okay. That's embarrassing. Just ignore that top card. I promise it's not that gross.
Imagine.
So 4 triggers will be 1/1 on Nissa and 1/1 on Oracle.
Cool. In response to those triggers, I'm gonna pay 2 mana, and everybody's gonna put the top card of their library into their graveyard.
Hold on.
Nope, that you're putting triggers on things.
And I get 1 land entered, so I'll add 1 green, and a second land entered, so I'll add
Put
1
that shit in the
blue.
graveyard.
Yeah, but these triggers are on the stack. So how does that work?
I mean, if that's the triggers you're resolving, that's what I'm responding to.
Okay, so you're gonna put yours above my triggers then?
Correct.
All right.
I just want Nadu gone. Fuck that bird.
Land.
It's in the 99.
Land. I got
Yeah, search.
card draw. That sucks.
Search your library.
So I got
Card
one
draw doesn't
creature.
suck.
Wait, no, it's reveal
It's on the
cards from the
graveyard.
top of your library until you reveal.
What did
elf
you
or
get,
elemental.
Dan?
Land.
Okay, so I got one creature.
Bloodstained Mire.
So that's 1 damage from Sir Conrad to everybody.
Hold on.
Ooh.
It's only 1, Dan. Fine.
You know my
Only
deck
one
better.
from 29 kind of hurts. From 42, you're okay. You'll be all
Then shuffle it. Put the rest at the
Land
bottom.
of
So
War
I get all
Elf.
these cards.
Are you casting that or putting it into play?
Just putting it to your hand.
Gotcha.
And then I will reveal a new top card on my deck. I don't know.
Order Elf.
I'm shuffling like that. Yeah, it's the cheapest version. So new top card is Allosaurus Shepherd.
Pretty
Wish I
good.
got that elf instead. Use 1 of the green mana to play Land of War Elf.
In response, 2 treasure.
Yeah,
Top card into the graveyard.
fucking rude. You know I can play a land if I reveal one, right?
That's sure, dude.
I'll
I got a land.
respond. I'm gonna surveil 2 in response to that.
Okay.
All right.
Swap
what are you getting,
those.
Dan?
And then I'll put in a Yavimaya to the graveyard.
What? Another tap.
Yeah.
So
So once again, only 1 creature for 1 damage to everybody.
and
I
it
got a
goes to
land.
graveyard.
Correct.
Oh, did we take
Why
1
would we do
earlier
it
too?
again?
Yeah, it's been 2 total from Conrad because it's Nadu was the first trigger.
Nah,
Okay.
dude.
So we did it. We should have done it 3 times or 2.
No, I'm just talking 2 damage from 2 creatures because you've milled 2 creatures. That's all
Okay.
Conrad cares about. Oh, not mill. Creatures hitting
All right,
graveyard for
so I
mill.
can continue.
Yes.
All right, I got 2 mana left. Can't do shit with it. So this fades.
I'm out of
Go to
treasure. Land of
combat.
War was your second spell, though, so I'm going to make that treasure.
Dan, let me get in with my commander,
Border
dude.
life. Border
I'll let
life.
you hit me with your commander. Let me hit you with my
What?
commander.
His commander's an 0-4.
Mine's a 2/6. It's not much better.
I got 3/3s. What the hell?
Everybody else has Death Touch.
I do not have death. Oh, wait. I just have a 5-4.
You can like triple block and kill it. How many gates away am I? 3,
That's a good
4,
question.
5, 6.
I'm actually-
getting close.
Now that I
getting
think about it, I'm
close.
kind of sad that I milled somebody's destroy permanent. Generous.
I guess we'll just pass. Can't really do much.
Nope. I mean, fucking hell, it don't even matter anyway. Hey, dude.
You rolled that die. Hey, you
Oh,
got an
even-
airborne.
Even worse, dude. You don't understand. You're
What?
right. I mean, first of all, we're going to tap this, roll a d20. All right, and we're all right. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right.
All right,
You
good.
got a treasure token.
You got a 14, so you get a treasure and a thing.
Yeah.
You get a treasure.
Yeah. And then 14 plus 22 would be 36. Fucking hell.
You're almost halfway there, dude.
I'm getting there.
Are the other two artifacts bobbleheads?
Baba and a component pouch.
Gotcha.
All right. So I
You
got
paying?
one mana floating.
Rolling dice right now. Never mind. Continue.
One dice.
Yeah, I haven't played any
Rambling,
spells
gambling,
yet.
man.
Yeah, whoa.
Continue.
I will tap to roll another d20. See where we can get with this. And yeah, I may or may not be.
Yes, 16. Another thing, I won't gain a life.
I
That's
might die
one
to Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Are they holding lightsabers, dude?
I think it's like a laser cannon.
2 with summoning sickness. So, all right. Well, fucking hell.
You should cast some spells.
You should.
And not
I
pay for 'em.
should, dog.
But you should pay for them.
Nah.
I will pay 2 treasure tokens, 1 floating mana, as well as tapping agility to tap
Those are words.
Mr. House. And I will roll 1 6-sided die plus 2 3 6-sided
You
dice.
get 3 total if you're using 2 treasure. You get 1 for each treasure, correct?
Yeah, an additional 6-sided free.
Yeah.
And I spent 2, so
3 total.
Yes.
Okay. So what, you click it
They're
3
only
times.
they're only 6s though.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Got a
Yeah.
3.
So I didn't get shit on that one. Hell yeah,
Nope.
dude.
So you need 4 or higher every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 1.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's
Wow.
go. Come
Never-
on.
5.
I'll take another robot.
I will take another life.
All right, and after all that, we're gonna go ahead and pay the 2.
2 for what? You farewelling right now?
Yeah, creatures and graveyards.
Huh?
What is wrong? Why would you do that after you create all those creatures?
Because that's all the
Swing.
games.
At least swing for it. Go to combat. No, never mind. What? How much?
It doesn't
Anybody-
matter. It
Missing
can't
out
be
on free
counted.
damage.
That is your
All right.
first.
Do you pay? You
Uh,
paid for that, correct?
Yep, paid the 2
All
off.
right.
Can't be counted.
Pass
Well, I guess-
priority.
But
Yeah, I got
Athreos
nothing.
have
I got nothing.
response?
I got
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
have anything either.
Amount of mana.
I don't
You said
I have
face
creatures
out.
and graveyards?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a single treasure, but it does nothing. And you
At
didn't
least
do
I
all.
appreciate it on the Ristic study. And
Hold on, I need to count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gross! It hit my commander.
So how's this work? Does Conrad ping everything, or since it's
No,
being exiled?
because it's got to go to the
Fair.
graveyard. They don't
That's
go to the
good.
graveyard if they're exiled, and they don't
I
die.
should
He
have-
cares about dying and go to the graveyard. Farewell
I
doesn't
should have
care
picked
about either of
enchantments.
those.
Yeah, I didn't even
Should-
think about
Farewell just
enchantments.
says reset.
I don't.
Game.
I don't have enchantments. You should have done
It's
artifacts.
too late. Too late.
Yeah, that's all. Artifact.
done?
Nope, I got you. Yeah, pass.
I mean, you fucking got rid of your creatures.
Yeah, I can bring it back, no problem. Right.
I would have went to combat.
The only
and
one I'm
swung
worried
out.
about is
I also would have went to combat and swung out, but it's fine.
You did the thing. That's
Man,
important, I guess.
really good time to play this Phyrexian Reclamation. It says pay 2 and 2 life and get a creature card from my graveyard.
Nice.
I don't
Why
have one.
didn't- Why didn't
That's
you
what
do
I did.
enchantments?
Yeah,
know,
he didn't.
it was too. I thought about it too late.
Honestly, you should have just did
Already
everything
big.
because Helm's gross, Mana Crypt
Well,
gross.
yeah, artifacts. I
I
definitely.
mean-
The monuments are kind of because the good
Yeah,
news is Commander
artifacts I
attacks
get,
too.
but he has no
These are-
enchantments, right?
Yeah, that's. I didn't think about enchantments.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
you
cast my
pay?
commander for 3.
Too
You
late.
pay the one on either of those.
Doesn't your commander
Uh,
cost? Oh, I see.
-2, +2,
Yeah.
-2. I'm just gonna pay for one of those with the treasure that I have.
Alright, well, we'll draw one
You
then
draw
and
off
reveal
the-
nothing
Yep.
because I don't have to do that now.
I
Oh,
will
yeah.
make a 1/1 and drain everybody for the.
I'm
Triggered
away from my
skill.
computer, but I'll take it.
You're fine. Passing after that.
How much was
Man.
that, what, one?
Just one. Had to be graveyards. That was smart. You're smart.
Tap up heat.
Not
Sure.
smart enough if I fucking forgot enchantments.
Yeah, no, Silver
Damn it.
Library is gross, but
I didn't think about it. Artistic study.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, I would have hit artifacts, dude. I know you like your artifacts, but
There's
a lot of
grosser
good
ones
Like,
at the table.
mainly just vexing puzzle box. Like that
well,
thing.
Vexing
just
Puzzle Box
hit
ain't got shit on a goddamn
one mana roll a
spell
d20.
of those.
Yeah. No, I know.
Well, I guess also
I
how
know.
much of this depends on like how gross you make it with
That's
what you're
all.
putting in
I
them.
was hoping for that,
I mean,
but
A Vault-Born
dude,
Tyrant every
got
turn
sent to the
sounded pretty good.
graveyard.
Go
I'll
ahead,
pay
buddy.
4
Sorry.
life
Shut
to
up,
keep
Jenna.
1 card.
Big
That's
rip.
fair.
I mean, if you put it on like old barbarian guy, then it's a wrap.
Oh, fuck, that's CDHBA.
Yeah, the
Yodo,
cheapest. That's old school
Yo-Go.
CDH.
Karlak as well. I think can do it.
Activate coffers for
Yeah, any extra combat
2,
steps,
3, 4,
really.
5, 10 black.
You gonna buy that Karlak Secret Lair?
No.
Oh,
Plus black
I like the game. I didn't like it that much.
and green. No, wait, I need blue. Sure. I'll play
at
GLARB
least the Vault-Born Tyrants are gone.
for 7, so that's 2 plus 5, so 5 floating.
Assume you're paying
Cards in hand?
2.
I will pay. Actually, hold on a sec. Can I back this up? Does anyone mind?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I
buddy.
don't care.
Yeah.
Thanks. Alright, so I'll have 10 black. Guess I'll play this foretell card first. I just finally can see it.
I was about to say, I've been wondering.
Actually,
The only foretell I ever remember is the board wipe.
alright, let's do it this way.
Or the mass resummon one.
2 blue plus
But that would be useless, obviously.
3 black. I'll play
And
Grix the Sudden Storm from my hand.
Pretty good.
Pay 1 for Ristic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
You don't have no counter.
I
Shut up.
know.
Unless you have Red Elemental Blast, which I don't think you do.
Mm-mm.
damn, I have no more blue? Really?
I'm okay with that.
Whoops. Alright, play.
You need that merfolk. Turn all your lands.
Stinkmire as land return. Crack it. Yeah, seriously. What's it called? Like Harbinger of the Seas or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also that Emotolak or whatever, the Quoxetl came in the
Underground
pre-con.
Sea. I'll get Underground Sea.
Anything that puts flood counters, really.
Alright, now I'll pay 1 blue and 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1 blue and 3 to cast this Foretold card, which is Sage of the Beyond. Cost 1 less from Thrix. So spells I cast from anywhere other than my hand cost 2 less.
Do you pay? Or did you already?
I will pay.
Okay.
And then I'll pay. That'll leave me with 4. 2. Okay, this costs. I'm not going to pay for this one. So 1, 2, and 2 for Tender Shoot Drag.
Nice.
that's bad.
Not paying for Ristic, you can draw.
Yep.
And then I'll pay 5 and equip the helm to Tender Shoot Drag.
Pretty
It's
good.
fine.
Oh yeah. Wait, the
move
token exiles though, right?
No.
Oh, gross.
No.
It literally gets rid of legendary roll. You can put it on commanders.
That's nasty.
I'll go to combat. Make a
copy.
Tender Shoot Drag, and then I will
On
pass turn.
upkeep, make 2 3/3s.
They're
No,
1/1s.
2
Plus
5/5s.
Yeah, fuck yeah, because it's
Wait, they're
same
5/5s?
because they get +2/+2 if he has the city's blessing,
Oh.
which he does, and there's 2 tender shoots. So next turn they're gonna be 7/7s.
Jesus Christ.
Believe me, that's one of my. I love Tender Shoot Dryad, dude. Such a cool card.
Draw.
I feel like I'm playing against my Common deck right now because it's just a token
Had
deck.
to take damage.
Yeah, this deck's like all token
Tails.
synergy. That's it.
I love it.
Well, that is decent, but it is a little late.
Yeah, I'm completely pretty much out of gas. Farewell's always a pretty card.
I will tap this.
Yeah,
Float
that's how
one.
everybody's board state was pretty up there. And
I
then,
completely
Tap green.
understand it.
yeah. Should went,
I
like
guess
you said,
I'll
with everything.
attempt to naturalize the Helm of the Host too late.
Sure.
Alright.
Too bad that Tender Shoe ain't Dryad or Legendary.
I need to like draw into lands.
He's
Stalled.
trying to get rid of it.
Use the floating plus one. Oh wait, hold on. Need to do this
Oh, did
right.
you- Are you drawing
One,
your? Yeah, there they are.
two.
Oh, you've got a token.
3, 4, 5. Summon my commander.
Hell yeah, dude.
Give her an everything counter. And put an everything counter on Hinterland Harbor. Then I will tap Baldur's Gate
3.
for 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green mana. I want to do green.
Oh,
Why
I
is
should have made one
Thassa's even
zombie
in
too.
here? Thassa's
My
is
bad.
garbage. Yep, 7 green, and then I'll use 6 of it to cast that. And then I will use the other floating. Hold on, I can't do that, bitch. Yeah, so I just have 3 mana. I use the green and this to play Retreat to Kazandu. All these landfall triggers with no landfall. Pass.
You literally have a. Oh yeah, I get it. I was like, wait, you have landfall, but you mean no land falling
Yeah,
in.
that's what I
I
meant.
get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got
Imagine. No one will let me draw cards.
Man.
there, dude. If I had spells to cast, I'd fucking hook you up.
Well, I mean, I'm already almost at 9 lands too, or 9 gates.
That
So I should probably be killed.
That feels nice. I got 5 lands.
for 6.
I dirtled. It happens.
Bringing Earth Cult Elemental.
You paying that 1? Let me draw. Come on.
Go
Be a nice guy.
Man,
You're
come
all
on. Come on.
I would laugh if he's like counter.
Yeah. I
Roll a
wish.
D25. 1 through 9. Each player sacrifices a permanent.
Wow. Rude.
Earth Cult Elemental is gone.
Fuck it,
I'll sack a
dude. Come on.
zombie.
Wait, what's making us do
Sack a
that?
1/1.
Earth Cult Elemental that I brought in and then just sacked it because
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I'll do this enchantment.
that's cool.
I killed a fucking soldier.
Yeah, I
And
wish
a
you had
zombie.
tokens. You only affected me, Dan. Good job.
You done? What do you got? You dirtling too, dude? You out of gas? Did you? If you farewelled and you're out of gas, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm out of gas right now.
He's
On
in
No,
this
you
Mardu.
turn.
motherfucker! You should just let somebody win the game. Why the fuck did you farewell?
Yeah.
He's in
All right.
Mardu. He didn't have card draw.
You done? You done? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Come on,
Sweet
Yugi.
farewell though. Is that a surge for?
Yes, sir. Actual.
Nice.
I got
Nice.
it when it was $59.99, and it's like 70 something now. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Beautiful.
Alrighty.
I have a regular Fallout Wasteland though, and I saw the search foil just went up and up. I was like,
Yeah, it's
fuck,
gonna
I
do
should.
that.
Yeah, I should have got that.
I'm gonna pay 2
He gets you with the FOMO.
for you, Henny. I'm gonna tap an extra for the tax.
Aw, rude.
Henny's gonna make a 1/1 and drain everybody. I'll
So
gain
1
1
damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all she wrote. I have a card in hand that's not doing much.
All right. Do we die to plants now?
Possibly.
Just start shuffling.
Hey, I've got at least 1 turn. Yeah, you can
Well, I
carry on.
probably need to die because if I draw in the mazes, then
All right,
it's probably
so
over.
6 of these are
5/5s.
6 of them don't have summoning sickness. 2 do.
So 30 damage plus
Draw.
whatever.
Oh baby! Wow. All right. Come back like this. Draw this one. Yeah, this is gonna be. Who's in blue? Oh, you effing? You tapped out?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, my stuff's uncounterable anyway. Okay. Activate the coffers for 2, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. And yeah, I'll put 10 of it, and I'll use the extra one to pay for Ristic. And then I'll pay a blue and a green plus 10. I'll cast Aggressive Biomancy for X equals 5. So I'll create 5 copies of Tendershoot Dryad. And each of those is going to fight something when it comes in. Up
So
to
that's
1
pretty
creature.
much the game, right?
I think so. So then I'll have 7 of them. So the saplings will be 15, 15. It's not enough because, like, I could definitely knock someone out, but they don't have trample, so. Oh, actually, I can fight a bunch of stuff though. How many cards does everyone have in hand? 1. I think
2.
you got 2. And
Yeah.
you're all like dwindling, huh? All right, I'll fight. What creatures do you have, Volk?
Henny, which is Henny and a token.
All right, I'll fight the token.
That's fair. He die.
I think he's checking his phone.
And then I'll go to combat. Actually, yeah, I already used all this mana.
I get Alex
Effin,
totally check his phone.
Effin, I feel like you're in the best position to win, so I'm gonna send 6 15/15 saplings at you.
Yeah, I'll just take it. Doesn't matter if I don't. We all
right.
did.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just play
Hopefully
GLARB
everything's
for.
alright.
I'll play GLARB for 7. Play Asymmetric Growth Chamber off the top. I'll bounce the Cabal Coffers. Make it
You
zombie.
good, Dan?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
He texted me up asking what Chuck's address and size was. I was like, "Well, T-shirt is large, but just send him his address."
It's up to you guys now.
Go ahead, Dan. Your turn. Curry's dead.
All right.
So make 7 saplings on your upkeep.
And if you don't have a board wipe, you're dead too.
There's a.
2,
What a time to have a farewell.
3, 4, 5, 6. Play Ancient Copper Dragon.
That ain't gonna save you.
It's not.
You can try.
Tap the Vexen Puzzle Box for 1 mana. Roll a d20. It don't fucking matter. +5. So 9. Will be 14. And then I'll pay the 1 mana to put haste and hexproof on each Copper Dragon.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
And then I will swing it.
I do have
at,
2 flyers.
Do you have a 6 flyer?
Well, it has
Mm,
to do
no,
damage
but
to
don't
get
you
it.
want to make treasure?
Dan, come on.
That's not
I will block it.
All right, well,
Dan, come on.
all right, I'll swing it at you, Boo.
Yeah, I'll go to 39.
Okay.
Alright.
Roll a
I
d20.
was about to say, if that's your goal, yeah, there's no point. He will double block.
17.
17.
Hey, let's go.
Nice. You
That's
got a
scary.
big spell. You got kill spell.
He's like, I got a fucking robot and a treasure, dude.
I got 18
Nah, man.
treasures.
Yeah, it's true.
Massacre Worm
if you
would
had
kill
Marinette
me
Master,
bad. Massacre Worm would wreck me here.
I mean, you'd both be dead if you had Marinette Master out.
Massacre Worm wipes everything.
Pay 5.
7 plus
This motherfucker out.
do 44 damage to me. No, 48.
Pay another 5.
What? How big are your dryads?
Where's
2 2s.
Oh yeah, big red.
Yeah, and then all the saprons die too.
And then he would die to aristocrats.
To what, Yanni?
What
I
aristocrat?
mean-
I guess actually Yanni would get really big, but no, he wouldn't be indestructible. It's fine. Plus, it doesn't matter.
other
It's flying,
creatures you control have haste?
Yep.
I'm gonna tap this to roll a
You've
d20.
already went to.
Burloo or whatever would have been good.
Roll an 8.
Abaloo.
So haste and an extra token. 8. I'm gonna tap Mr. House down to 4.
Well, you got
Like-
the fairies.
So I can roll 5 d6s.
Jeez.
You're just trying to go wider than him, huh?
I'm trying to
What?
do something.
It's not
Hey, get a
physically
3/3.
possible. He's
It's
gonna make 7 saplings on my team.
He'll have 20 or 14 more saplings than he does now by the time he swings on you.
What the hell happened to all my fucking robots? It's a robot. Alright. 4 more dice.
You got a Rakdos signet.
Another
That would do work too.
robot.
So I'm not gonna lie.
3 more.
He's got mana, but
Yeah.
like
That's dumb.
I just need to top deck. Someone
Yeah.
mentioned a masker worm. I was gonna.
1. So
You got
2,
There is a-
Deep-Eater.
There is a masker worm type effect. It is my only card.
3. 7.
Well, that's
1 more.
not
Give me a
Massacre Worm though.
6.
No, that's why I
big
said it
rip.
depends. I
Might as
need a
well be
board
with a
wipe.
board wipe though.
I run 5 board wipes, so there's.
I can, if you let me live, I can make 36 more Tender Shoot Dryads.
The thing is, though, I think
You shouldn't let him live.
No, but 36 Tender Shoot Dryads. Come on.
that is a lot. I do like.
Then I would have 43.
Yeah, that's a bit
My
much.
Are you still
saplings would
rolling dice
be,
down there?
it would be
Um,
87,
Did you miss
87
every
saplings.
time?
I will send.
You already attacked.
You did already attack with the
I
Ancient
did with-
Copper Dragon.
right.
buddy. That's how this
So
started.
no, they're just blockers.
Are you done?
Move past. That's all I got. Yeah.
All right, dude. Fuck. I went to Joe or Yugi
All right,
Moto
Yugi
last
Moto.
time. No, Joey Wheeler. He'll help me out here, dude.
You get a red eyes.
All right. Well.
Whoa, Yog.
All right.
I didn't draw the card. I'm sorry.
I didn't, but it's hilarious. I'm gonna pay a swamp, and I'm gonna play the Blood Artist. It's not a board wipe, so don't worry. I'm gonna drain everybody and make a 1/1. I'll gain 1, and then we're gonna drain everybody again because I'm gonna play Calm of False Hope. It's a fucking fog
Oh,
effect on a
no.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I know that.
I'm gonna drain everybody and make a 1/1, and then
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna pass, and then hey, someone can die. It just isn't.
I'm
me.
dead. Yeah.
2 more turns at a board wipe.
Plus,
Take a rip.
this lets me see. What did he say? 37 Tender Shoot Dragons?
That's gonna
Well,
be a lot
now I
more
don't
than
know if I
that.
want to do that.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, I should have
Take-
7
Take a
more of
drink,
these.
man.
Take a drink, Ribdo.
Mate, what if he has questing beast?
All
That's
right,
true. I mean, if he has question beast, I die.
upkeep.
Underrated
Yeah.
card.
I'll surveil 2 on my upkeep.
Also, yeah, we're just
Put both those in the graveyard. So
Chilling.
Vesuva and Springheart and Tuco. All right, draw for turn or draw 3 from Sylvan.
You got Nadu in your 99.
No,
What about Coma?
it's I don't play Coma because I find it toxic, but
Aw,
I think
I'm
it's good in this deck.
Probably.
Fuck. I'll take this card, I
Yeah,
guess.
Coma and AC are both toxic.
I'll
Hey,
play
dude.
coffers.
To
Make
be
a
fair, I
guy.
built it in response to a Kenrith, and then Coma does not shut down Kenrith at all. So,
Oh, that's a bummer.
because Kenrith is just a good card.
All right, I think I can win this anyway.
And then
All
top
right.
yourself.
Uh-oh.
2 activate coffers for.
Oh, yeah, he's
one,
he's gonna have an answer.
2, 7, 8.
Plus, he's got like 45
Oh.
mana.
All right, so I got 12.
What a stifle
Black.
effect.
This is going to cost 1 less, so I'll pay 7, going to 5. Cast an Archon of Cruelty.
Yeah, pretty good.
I'll send it at you, Rolk, the trigger.
What is that again? I believe I lose.
You're going to sack a creature, planeswalker, discard a card, and lose 3. And I will
Cool.
draw a card and gain 3.
Lose 3, discard nothing, and just sack a token unless it's non-token creature.
Nope, it's
That will
sack
die.
any creature.
Blood Artists will go right back at you.
Yep.
I'll gain 1. But I took the 3.
All right. Tap the rest of my mana.
What about Rotten Mouth Viper? Did you get that?
I am playing that, yeah.
Nice.
6,
I need to pick up one of those.
It's like the
7,
Uber version
9,
of Archon.
10, 11, 12 plus 5 is 17.
Torment?
I'll cast Doppelgang for X is
Is
5.
that on fucking Archon of Cruelty?
5 Archons. Gross.
So I'll end up with 1 mana floating because the reduction. So 5 copies of 5 permanents. I'll choose Archon, Blood Artist.
Oh, jeez.
I can't pick the same target twice though. Archon, Blood Artist. I guess and three tender shoots. No, I'll do Build of the
Hey,
Dead.
there's a brass dragon over there.
Build of the Dead.
Ancient Copper Dragon.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Also,
Copper dragon.
I'll
I
do
have
Coffers, Field of the Dead, and Tender Shoot.
Well, you can do lands. That's dumb.
Yeah.
so as
Alright.
you cast this, you are targeting, correct?
Yes.
You
I
gonna
would-
swat?
I would like
It
to
is
just
what?
sacrifice my Blood Artist to Yeheni.
Oh, you just ping.
I mean, it don't
Yeah.
matter because he doesn't get one, but I don't have one, so he's erased the problem regardless.
You have to sack 5 creatures anyhow, or permanents, right?
No, he's only making 1 Archon.
No, I'm making
That's
5
five.
Oh,
cards.
it's 5 of each? Oh, yeah, dude, you know what?
5 of 5
I'm not even going to
targets.
fog out of respect for fucking Gillis, because that's actually cool. Dan, we're
Alright.
dead. I'm not fogging.
All
I
right.
mean, you get in response and then sack
We're
the
calling
red.
it.
What's the point, dude? I want to die to a bunch of saplings.
All right.
That's
Well,
GG then.
Toxic Deluge was the next card, son of a bitch.
See? That's why you
I
don't.
sacked my Blood Artist. It doesn't matter. That's my only card in hand.
I
So
had
everybody's
Massacre
dead.
Worm in hand. If he didn't fare
Yeah.
well that turn, I was gonna make 10 of these and kill everyone.
I should have went with everything. Yeah.
Oh,
Damn,
man.
there was
Like,
draw.
Kellogg.
That's fair.
Kellogg.
Damn.
That's fine.
Man.
GG, guys.
Yep, you too, man.
Yep.
GG.